Well, this is another nice coffee. It's a very different coffee from the other. I mean, smells like it's a little lighter roasted
Mm-hmm.
than the first one,
Mm-hmm.
and it's sort of a crisper, higher toned, but it has a more distinct brightness or acidity,
Yeah.
uh, and which suggests that it's probably a better quality coffee than the first one. And it's very lively, right?
Yeah. It is.
Good.
Wow.
There's a kind of a nice sweet fruit, like there's a little bit of citrus, maybe
I definitely got citrus.
peach, peach maybe, or apricot, some kind of stone fruit.
Yeah.
And there's a kind of a caramelly sweetness in back, no chocolate that I can detect, but very nice. Some flowers, a kind of a very sweet, delicate flower. Lovely, lovely. You know, the flowers are coming on to me. I know people may not like to drink flowers in their coffee, but florals are just a beauty. Yes, it's very impressive in the nose, I think, and it would be a kind of it's a classic coffee aroma of a lighter roasted, very naturally sweet but bright coffee. So let's taste it. I don't like to be a broken record, but again, it's a little disappointing in the cup, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. It's the same thing, isn't it? It's repeat. Although I love the nose of this one, but yeah, it might even be a bigger letdown. I'm just trying to analyze whether it's a bigger letdown because
But taste the finish, Kevin. The finish is very balanced and sweet. It doesn't have that sort of rough, somewhat heavy, perhaps slightly rubbery finish that the number one had. It's what we call a clean finish. The mouthfeel is quite light, which is again probably an expected element of Kona coffee, that it would have a kind of a silky mouthfeel, not a heavy mouthfeel. Some of the fruits are resolving into chocolate, I feel, or caramel. I think the peach, stone fruit, the peach, sweet peach, is more prominent. It's a nice, and it has that kind of a little bit of brightness.
yeah, you actually like that. It's nice to have a light roasted coffee that's not too light either. It's never overlit.
Right. No, it's as we say it's fully developed. The potential of the coffee is fully developed, even though the roast is rather light. So a lot of the kind of citrusy fruit, bright fruit tendencies come across very well at a roast level like this. And the flowers too. I don't get as much of the floral element in the cup, but I would say this is a quietly distinctive coffee. It has a certain, in other words, I couldn't from this cup tell whether it was a Kona or a really fine Costa Rica or but it's still distinctive. It's still, I think when you smell it and you taste it, you say, "Oh, I'm drinking something a little interesting, a little exceptional." It's not just, "Oh, this coffee is satisfying my need for something that tastes good as well as hot in the morning." It's telling us a little more.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really nice.
I think the kind of light mouthfeel is I mean, I guess if I were judging it, I would mark it down on the mouthfeel a bit. But that's probably because of the lighter roast, and I wouldn't really hold it against it. It's a lovely coffee. What is it?
All right. This one, oh, that's a little bit of a surprise.
Kona Coffee Blend.
Yeah, and it's Signature Select. I mean, this is a supermarket coffee. This is a supermarket coffee. This is. I got it at a Jewel, which is Chicago, but it's Albertsons store here.
Yeah, we have this in our local dominant local chain, Safeway.
Right.
Signature is
This is a house
is a
brand.
Safeway brand. Well, this is a big surprise. What I want to say is that there's somewhere in that. Where is it roasted? Can you tell?
Let's see.
What part of the world?
I'm going to check here,
anything?
see if there's any information. I mean, it says distributed by Better Living Brands, Pleasanton, California. That's not quite a admission of where it's roasted, but anything else?
Well, I think the toll roaster. This is a situation where the company, the organization arranges for a roasting company to provide a coffee. The roasting company usually does everything. They source the coffees, they roast it, and they package it using film that the Signature brand provides them. And so I would say that somebody at that roasting company who maybe normally had to produce a lot of lousy dark roasted coffee or darker roasted coffee or a lot of Robusta coffee or who knows what, that, well, hey, I have a nice challenge here. I'm going to make a coffee that is a lovely, softly bright coffee the way Kona's supposed to. And I happen to have some coffees here that I have from. In other words, I'm projecting a sort of somebody having fun in producing this coffee.
Well,
blending this coffee.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot.
And
Go ahead.
I think I'm going to try to find out who roasted it for another show.
I'd love to find out. Yeah, this is really, sometimes when you buy house brands, and I like to go to grocery stores. It's kind of one of my hobbies, and try out things. Sometimes I'll buy two different.
That's probably a very popular hobby from Pat's point of view, from your wife's point of view.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, but I don't.
Except you wander around wasting too much time.
She loses me there. Yeah, I know. She also can never
right.
find me.
Yeah.
Well, she often knows the coffee aisle is one of my spots. But this is really is a shock to me, frankly, because they have some other good Signature Select. Again, I'm sure they're all outsourced, but they for whatever reason, I'm sure they're brutal buyers.
Well, it's a good sign.
Yeah.
See, I mean, the point is the officers or managers at Signature selected a good toll roaster and let the toll roaster do their job well.
One of the things I like to do, and I just want to point it out, this is an example, I want to be able to just, it's not always find the most expensive product for you, but to help us, just taste our way with kind of not seeing
Right.
it. We didn't game it this way, but this is I think you're going to find this a pretty good bargain.
Yeah. Also, read for the audience what it says under Kona Coffee Blend on the front.
10% minimum Kona beans. They go out of their way.
Right.
The Kona Blend, and
Yeah.
then
Well, legally, they have to say that.
yeah, and then
The Kona Coffee Growers Association, or their lobby for Kona
Yeah.
Coffee, insisted that the 10% be on there. Of course, the only purpose of the 10% is to put the Kona name on the bag. People who produce that Kona coffee that goes into the 10%, which are usually these larger mills, they don't care too much about the quality of the coffee because there's going to be 90% of other coffees in it. Again, we can thank Kona for the concept of this coffee, for the style.